Stack armor. We wear a Ninja Turtle. All we wear is Ninja Turtle. There is no armor to be stacked. Any comment that says change weapon, use a shield, or change armor, no. It will not be done. Okay, that's good. Okay, I've learned a valuable lesson. The next move for us is to literally just stand in there, plant your feet, and fight the rats. Fight the rats. If you get toxic, so what? We have to... Running clearly does not work. No! Let's go! No tactics. Just mashing. Oh. You're not gonna get me. You're not gonna get me. Come on, come on. Oh. Keep that stam high. You never know. Oh, that's an uppercut for the centuries, dude. Every time. Do your paw trick. Ooh, he shot the corpse at me, dude. You gonna rush me? You gonna rush me? You're not gonna rush me. Are you doing something? What? He had an accident, dude. Really? That's what you do at the end? You break the armor of the person who had the audacity to fight you? One last fuck you? At least it didn't break our rings. Hey, Ranger 451, thank you, thank you. Alright. I mean, that wasn't that bad in terms of our enjoyment. It was really bad in terms of the quality of the boss, but... What's your favorite green vegetable? I mean, honestly, people think I'm like putting on airs or whatever. I'm a kale dude. If I get the chance to have a salad and you give me a choice of green vegetable, I'm going kale pretty much every time. Brussels sprouts also great. You're not wrong. I mean, I'll tell you, I really like arugula too. Spinach is great. Spinach is great. But it's I prefer the kale to the spinach, honestly. Favorite orange vegetable? That's a tough one. I mean, I know there's like orange peppers and stuff. I probably would still say carrot. Wrong is sweet potato. Look, I don't like sweet potatoes very much. The exception is fries, but whoops. I don't think those count. I don't know what I just dropped. Hopefully it wasn't important. I don't really like sweet potato. I love regular potatoes. Sweet potatoes, fried, Like French fried, roasted. I'm going like down to the floor. Mashed. Ew. Mashed sweet potatoes? No, thank you. Oh my god, dude, we got green. We got green and red. That's what my university cafeteria serves. I actually think sweet potatoes are like the perfect diet food. Because like, regular potatoes are not very good for you. Sweet potatoes are a little bit better. But the real beauty of sweet potatoes is if you say, hey, for a healthier option, you could have sweet potatoes. What I'm gonna say is, I'll just take it sans carbohydrate, please. I will just take it, just the protein and then maybe like some green leafy vegetables as well. I don't want what you're putting out there. Oh, we gotta be indoors of Pharaohs. How was the Queen's Cafeteria? So I don't know if you can find a story about this. I don't know if this is possible. But my favorite story about the Queen's Cafeteria is on St. Patrick's Day 2007. We always went to the dining hall as soon as it opened, which was like 4:30. Because, you know, you eat, you get there when it's not busy, you get fresh food. It's a very early dinner time, don't get me wrong. But, you know, it was nice. So on St. Patrick's Day 2007, we went to eat at 4:30. And then at like 6, I looked out of my dorm window and was like, yo, why is the cafeteria closed? Hold on, I'm telling a story. Like, the lights were off, and I was like, this is really messed up, because this is like, people have got to eat. And then I found out the next day that people were so hammered, they went into the cafeteria and started like a real food fight. And then the staff, who are completely justified here for the record, went, I don't get paid enough to deal with this shit. And they walked out. And then the kids, like the college students, went behind the counters and started cooking their own shit. They started frying their own chicken nuggets and stuff and like making their own pizzas. So they had to get campus security in and kick everybody out. I wasn't there. That's just what I heard.
Thou returns.
Oh, it's you again.
I am not unkind.
So I don't know if you can find like
Always, audience shall be thine.
I don't know if there's a news story about that,
Swearest
but
thou to serve me true.
I thought it was very funny. No, I will not join the Rat Covenant. Anyway, the cafeteria was like, it was pretty bad. Yo, this is the way we go back. I went to Queens at the same time. This story is absolutely true. I mean, I remember it. But I was also, I mean, heavily inebriated for a large part of my college experience. So my memories from that era are not so good. No, 2004 is too early. It would be 2007. Okay, be honest, chat. Do we go down here, yes or no? Many people are saying yes. But I feel like this is just the way we came in. I guess it doesn't matter. Because even if it is the way we came in, we took a different path from this point onwards. Yeah, okay, thank you, thank you. Very wise, very astute. It caused $10,000 in damages. Honestly, like, there's a lot of pretty, like, administratively embarrassing stories from, the administration of Queen's University during my time there. Like, they, were building a new gym and rec center, which is fine. The building was old. But then they one night they put no tarp on, like they put a new gym floor in, but they didn't put a roof over it or a tarp, and it rained and it ruined the floor like the day after they put it in. Just remember, like literally everybody's response to the news was like, what the fuck? Like, what did you expect? No, the worst part is it wasn't even tuition fees. We actually paid a special levy of like 60 bucks, which is not that expensive. But it was a little weird because you're like in 4th year, you know, your last year of undergrad, you're like, I gotta pay 60 bucks. This shit's not even gonna be done until I'm out of here. Like, I'm kicking the can out of pocket for the next generation. Which, like, in principle, I like. But, like, most of the people going to Queens, their parents can't afford to pay the 60 bucks themselves. Ah! So, this is bringing some memories back, dude. Like, when we get in here, in the Brightstone Cave, Soldora, at the bottom of this, don't we fight, like, 8 priests at the same time? That sounds right, okay. To be fair, the Ark is the best gym I've ever been to. Yeah, well, you're welcome. Because I paid for, I don't know, 1/10 of one treadmill. I ain't even seen that place. I was still, we were using the PEC, which admittedly is a great name for a gym. It was the Physical Education Center, aka the PEC. It was really easy to remember because that's where the gym was. However, okay. It was pretty old. As a current Queens student, the Ark is dope. I'm glad, I mean, it looked dope when it was going up. I mean, after the 3 or 4 years where it was just a big smoldering hole in the ground on Union Street. I guess it wasn't smoldering. It was just the hole. Someone else taking shots at the king? You are. Oh my god. Why? I should have known. At this point, I should have known. That's a Souls class. But yeah, the cafeteria was okay. The end. The only... every day they had pizza. Every day they had... dude, I got so many more stories than I remember. This is great. Every day they had pizza. Every day they had chicken nuggets. Every day they had French fries. So if you were, like, okay with dying of heart disease, then it was no problem. Then they always had, like, soups as well. Like Campbell's soups. Which was fine. And then they had, like, a stir-fry station and, like, a seafood station. But the seafood station was always, like, I didn't expect great stuff. But it was, you know, like the little tiny shrimp that are like not even really real shrimp, you know, you're like, but, they also had those toasters that like, they're rolling toasters. So you put your bread in and it goes on a conveyor belt where it like heat lamps the top of it. And then it goes into the back of the toaster and somehow it does a little flip and it gets toasted on the other side, right? And me and my friends invented those toaster nachos where we would go to the salad bar. You get like a pita, and this is good stuff. So you get a pita, you like cut it up so it's in triangles like a tortilla chip. And then we would put like shredded cheese on top of it and like other stuff from the salad bar. The first time we did it, it was amazing. We put it into the toaster. It, like, just worked. And it came out beautifully, and we were like, we're geniuses. The second time we did it, it started a huge fucking fire in the toaster. So we just unplugged it from the wall and, like, moved an inconspicuous amount of space away. Let's go. But the toaster, I remember, I'm not saying it wasn't our fault, because we were putting cheese in the toaster. But secondarily, that toaster also, like, smoked like a son of a gun. Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Don't look at me like that. That toaster also smoked like a son of a gun if you put raisin bread in it, so... I'm not saying it wasn't partly our fault, but... That's all the cafeteria lore I think I have. Well, I don't know. There's one more story. So I think I've told this before, but there's a game they used to play on campus. It's also called Assassin, but we called it Catch Me If You Can. So, like, in the spring every year, for $2, you could enter into this game. And the way the game worked is they give you, like, a clothespin. And the object is to... You get the name of another person playing the game. Hold on. Via email. And you have to find a way within, like, a week to sneak up on them and put the clothespin on their clothes. If you did, you captured them. Or you killed them, I guess. And if you killed them, they had to give you the name of their target. And then at the end of it, whoever was the last person alive, or the last person alive at a certain time period with the most kills, won, like, all the prize money. Me and my high school, or my college roommate, both made the top 10 in our first year. And I gotta admit, it was pretty easy. At least for the start of it, because most people signed up for $2 and then, like, forgot. Or alternatively, they were like, this isn't worth, like, screwing up my whole life for. But we were, like, all in, because we're like, dude, we can make, like, for a university student to be able to make, like, $1,000 off of this game was, like, stunning, right? So we were in the top 10, and I remember I got the name of my target. And my roommate was like, oh shit, I know that guy. He's another freshman year, like, engineering student. So, like, we're gonna get him no problem. So we waited in the cafeteria for hours and hours. One day he came in, and he was looking, like, extremely... you're not gonna believe this whole story, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. He was looking extremely sketched out. Like someone had already narked that I was coming, right? But I was like, I'd already gotten like 12 kills or something at this point. And most of them was literally like, you just walk up to somebody and go like, bunk, and then they're like, oh, you got me. So I sneak up beside this guy in line, and I go to put my clothespin on him. I swear to God, he swivels around 180 in like a 1/1,000,000th of a second, grabs my hand. With his other hand, he grabs the clothespin and just rips it in half. And then he says something along the lines of, execute the plan. And then I'm just stunned. So he takes off running out of the cafeteria at full speed. I had a backup clothespin, of course, just in case, right? So I ran after him. I knew what residence he lived in. It was really close. So I like ran into the residence, but he beat me there. And now I got to give you some more backstory. My RA, you know, like the staff in the dorm rooms, was like, hey, Ryan, one of my classmates was asking if I knew you the other day. And I was like, oh, because he knew I was in the game. And then we did some research, and he like showed me a photo of the guy. So he was like, if you ever see this guy... Oh, this is the start. If you ever see this guy, you know, you should watch out. So I ran into the dorm to catch my guy, and then I swear to God I had like a heart attack where I looked in the doorway, and it was the guy who was capturing me, And it wasn't even close. Like, I sprinted, and he just ran me down like a track star. But anyway, my target ended up winning the whole thing. I'm pretty sure that after that event, he just stayed inside of his dorm room for like the next 2 weeks straight. And he already had like 20 kills or something, so it worked. But I also remember my roommate, after I got captured, like before I got captured, we were like, dude, this is gonna be so amazing. We're gonna be like #1 and #2. This is gonna be incredible. After I got captured, he lost his will to live. He was like, I don't even like this game anymore. Like, dude, this shit is like ruining my whole life. And everybody was trying to talk him up. They're like, dude, all you gotta do is like be vigilant for the next week, and you could make like at least a few $100 for coming in like 5th or something like that. And he was like, nah, dude, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Well, he didn't pin himself, but he let himself get pinned, which is just as bad in my opinion. So those are my only cafeteria stories. I believe I have them. Well, there was one time they ran like a little Iron Chef competition in our cafeteria. And like when we went to dinner, they were like, who wants to be the judges for the Iron Chef? And immediately I put up my hand because I was like, maybe I could eat some real food. And then I got to eat some like food that real like student chefs prepared, and it was pretty good, but it also kind of sucked because they had to use the ingredients from the cafeteria, so they were still using those tiny shrimp. But anyway, that's about it. And then like the other cafeteria had a waffle maker, but we didn't get to go there very often. And from what I heard, the waffle maker was constantly in use or broken, but it was also like, it was the girls-only residence that had it, and there was just like a weird energy over there. I never felt welcome in that area. I always felt like I was intruding. What the? I don't know, it was a different vibe over there. In the mixed dorms were like, everybody was on the same page. When you walked into the dorm that's women only to go to the cafeteria, it felt like on Lost when they meet the others, you know? It was like, you know I'm not supposed to be here. I'm just here for the waffle iron. Hey. But that is genuinely it. I think literally that's it. What about the boys-only dorms? Those don't exist. Unless you're talking about the upper year engineering dorms. I never went inside of those. Yo, if you guys have been to college, did you have co-ed bathrooms? I feel like Ally McBeal screwed up our bathroom situation. We had 3 bathrooms. One was men, one was women, the other one was co-ed. This is definitely priest territory. Oh! What the? It is the Steam picture. Hi! What do you think about Wyoming coming back in the 4th? on DSPN yesterday. So after every NLSS, I'm gonna be honest with you, like I'm not a baby about it, but the NLSS takes it out of you. You know, you're constantly high energy. You're being interrupted. You have to fight for your airtime, right? So I usually like eat something and just like sit quietly for a little bit just to recenter myself. So I had, oh no, dude. I had Dan's stream on, and the production value, for anyone who didn't know, he was playing NCAA football 2014, which I think was the last one they made. He had like overlays. He didn't talk to chat at all. He was completely role playing as a football coach. He was getting destroyed, and then in the final quarter, which is only like 4 minutes long to begin with, he scored a touchdown, kicked an onside kick, recovered it, and scored another touchdown. And then on the other team's drive, caused them to fumble. Help me. And recovered the fumble. Like honestly, the level of pageantry has never before reached that level. The man is pogging out of his gourd. Maybe we'll probably talk about it on Check the Wire tomorrow, is my guess. There are a lot of horde bosses in this game. You're not kidding when you say that. Incredible. Anyway, dude, I'm all in on DSPN. Also known as soon-to-be DMCA. But no, it was a great show. You couldn't ask for, like, if you like baseball, if you like the Super Mega Baseball series, you should be watching DSPN when it's on as well. By the way, if you like the Super Mega Baseball series, it's getting even better. I don't want to spoil anything for you. All I'm going to say is Malfi learned a base run. And I think we both got a lot better at hitting. And I think we both got, particularly me, a lot better at pitching. But it's going to be a tight run for that wild card spot. What an incredible boss. So there's an illusory wall here. You're not wrong. Can you up the ego mid-season? I mean, we're like, at the point of the series where we're at right now, we're like even. We're 500. I'm not raising the ego. $60 seems like a pretty good balance. I was playing with Wolf and he told me I play like Malf. Excuse me. I mean, when you say play like Malf, here's what I think. A man who is a disciplined pitcher and calls his shots when he bats. He goes, watch this, and then he cranks a homer. He's out-contributed me in a couple of games. Maybe even a few games now. Oh, let's go. Yes, occasionally base running can be a problem, but we're getting there. In fact, we've gotten there. You just don't know it yet. Yeah, plus that's on Justin.